Okay, so we want to do number 15 and 20.3 as an example, which says, can we apply the curl test or the divergence test if the domain of as some vector field f, right, is the set of x, y's, and z's not on the positive z-axis? So what I'm wondering, right, is can I ensnare the problems with, in the curl test case, a loop, and in the divergence test case, a surface, right? So get out your rubber band and your saran wrap, and then try to draw your problem set. So what's my problem set here?
So cannot be.
Not a line.
I was just getting that cannot
Close.
be on the z array.
Yeah, you guys see this? The problem is not on the z-axis, right? The positive z-axis. So we're kind of good everywhere except for this. Well, let me point z up.
Yeah.
This is my problem set. Oh, and well, I'm going to stick 0 in there. It's kind of unclear as to whether 0 is a problem or not. You'd have to check the actual function you're given, right? So this is a ray, right? Cool. All right. Can you bubble wrap this ray?
Only one end
Like,
of it.
yeah, you can really get the, you can kind of wrap around this end, right? But you're not going to be able to close that with a surface, right?
But you can.
You guys see that? So any closed surface I'm going to draw around this thing, right? Like the best I could do is kind of like a big paraboloid, like a bowl, right? Oh, cool. I have a bowl.
Wake up.
It's just water.
Oh.
So, right? This is like the best attempt I can get. Like I can put a cup around the bottom. It's an infinite ray though, right? That's not getting anywhere. You guys see that? So the inside of anything I can wrap around this thing is going to be, right, wholly contained in the domain. You guys see that? So I think I can apply the divergence test. Check. Okay, now I am left wondering, if this runs off that way, can I ensnare it with a loop?
Yes.
Oh, right, the handle.
Right? Loop.
Oh,
Except,
We can slide off the bottom, but
yeah.
yeah, I can slide it off the bottom, slide it over here, and then zip it down. You guys see that?
Yes, yeah.
Crap. Right? So I can't ensnare it with a loop either. So what does that mean?
can't apply either.
Can be, right? I'm looking for problems. So if any loop can be contracted, right? Any loop that you draw around this thing, you can pull it off the bottom and zip it down. That's a yes, you can apply the curl test to. You guys see this? Does that help, Leslie? Mm-hmm.
Pulling it off and zipping it closed.
Yeah, right? So if I had a rubber band, which I usually keep in here. If I had a rubber band, right? So here's my rubber band. I attempt to ensnare this thing, right? And I'm wondering, can I close this little loop up? So I'm going to take it off, I'm going to pull it down, and then I'm going to wad it up. Right? And that all happened inside the domain.
So
If this ray wasn't a ray, but was a line, right? Then I couldn't pull that trick because you can't take this off the end, right?
If it wasn't just the positive z-axis, if it was both.
If it was the whole z-axis, I couldn't get it off the end.
And the saran wrap worked because we just simply couldn't close the whole thing.
Yep, and the saran wrap was okay because you can't ensnare this thing with a surface that you,
So if you can saran wrap it or loop it, that means you can't apply the test, right?
Well, if it contains a hole.
okay, so what you're searching for is a hole, right? So in this case, I'm wondering, if I can saran wrap around a hole, I can't do this test.
Okay.
Over here, if I can lasso it and keep it lassoed, I can't apply the test.
What if you had a missing circle and you globbed around that?
Yep, that would also be a problem.
That's
Right, so if you had, say, all of our three except the unit circle in the XY plane.
But you could make a
Right.
torus around it that would be okay, but you could also make a sphere that would not be.
Yeah, and you need any surface, right? So the fact that there is a surface that makes it, that ensnares that thing would be the problem. Right, so while some surfaces might be fine, there are other surfaces that would not be fine. You guys all see that? Roll call? All right. Other questions on this? Oh, what if you had an interval? Like if it wasn't positive z-axis, but what if it was like
A line segment?
things with z values between 2 and 4 are not allowed? So like that would be actually like this, right? Except not extending and not extending, right? Just like actually this is the problem.
So it failed it
Didn't take it off.
Yeah, so a loop, right, can just come off the end and get shrunk down. So the curl test would be fine, but the divergence test, can you ensnare this with a surface?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Shove a cylinder around it, or a sphere, right? The cool thing about the divergence test is that most convenient surfaces can be turned into spheres anyway. Cool with this? So yeah, I guess we could think about this as, if the discontinuity is such that an amoeba can eat it, right? Then we won't be able to apply the divergence test. I don't have a good analogy for this one yet, other than the Lux setting. If you come up with a good analogy, let me know.